is craving food more and more, but in itself, it does not need any more food. But he. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us today. I just felt in my heart to talk about a topic here together and share it with all of you. I'm going to talk about the satisfaction of the heart. Now, you see, when God created all of us, He kept it in our design to live with and through Him. Now, if we are not connected to that model of the original design, then we certainly will lack something uh, um, that is seen actually, and so if 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 someone creates something to function in a certain way, then in order for that unit or that thing to function the way it's supposed to be functional, to utilize its mission 100%, then it has to be used properly. And the car that we own, cars, and my car, if the car the car is meant to be used with oil. If we replace it with something else that looks like oil, or some other form, replace it. Now a car may run, may not run, but if it runs, it's not going to be as successful run as if it were to be run with oil. Similar fashion, even with us as human beings, we are created to be with God and through God to function, to know God, and to live through Him and with Him. If we don't live in that way, then we'll have some abnormality in our lifestyle. And so the craving that we are meant to be used to be fulfilled with God, those cravings are going to go somewhere else. Because imagine that the car needs the oil, and in order you're planning to run, and in order for you to go somewhere to run, the car needs to fill with oil, and then you will be successful to run. Now, in the same way, in order for you to function normally, to go from direction A to B, to point A to B, now you have to, in order for you to go in that route 100% successfully, you have to live as possible, as close as to the original design as it was laid in front of you. Now, if you don't have that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to want to crave that thing with other things. And by doing that, you overindulge one area of your life, thinking that you're going to satisfy it and fulfill the call that you have. Now, in America, lately has been very much excessive, I would say, too much of use of I would say sexual exercise. Now we have the freedom, and in freedom you can choose whenever and whatever you want to do, as long as you don't force it upon others. You want to be this, you want to be that, it's up to you. God gave you the freedom and give you the choice to do that, and without the freedom there will be no free choice, no free will. So God gave us both. But so it doesn't matter on that. So what has happened is that we have rejected the idea of God, that God can fulfill us. We even question the existence of God, which has been thousands of years, very normal, natural. So now our focus is on sexual exercise. So what we do is a culture now, we stress too much on being fulfilled sexually. You know, and the idea is that by doing that, somehow we'll be fulfilled and we'll find the meaning, as though we in the past generation were lacking on sex, and now we have come to this place where if we advertise it and if we promote it to the kids and exercise it and practice it and promote different varieties of sex, we will somehow be fulfilled. You want to be this, you want to be that, and this. I saw a video of a female who says, I feel like a puppy, therefore I have to act like a puppy. I am a puppy entrapped in this body. Anyway, it's again the free country. Things like that in freedom may come. So, but what's going on? Will that phenomenon of you being a puppy fulfill that person? The answer is no. Because what that person is craving Jesus, is craving God. But because there's no God, and you don't even necessarily believe, there's no redemption, there's no healing. So that area that you starve, you're going to try to fulfill it in this country that is the most promoted is sexuality. So you're going to want to fulfill that, the sexuality. And let me tell you, to be honest with you, if someone from a different culture come in this country and sees the overly use of sexuality, and one will have two options here to make a conclusion of why these things are this way. Why in this country? A, people will think they're starving. They starved sexually in the past, therefore now they're trying to overly indulge on this matter. And so that will be one conclusion. Another conclusion is that we have used it way too much and have become somehow replaced the notion of the idea of God into sexuality. Sexuality has become like an idol and we cannot stop ourselves. Now, the truth be said, that is correct. The second argument, the conclusion is way more correct because we know that American people don't starve sexually. We know that's the other way around. It's like an obese person, you know, is craving food more and more, but in itself, it does not need any more food, but his body is given these signs that he needs more food and he has become addicted and food is mastering him, not he cannot master food. So food has become his idol in a way and he cannot stop himself. And you can see on the expansion of the body, the skin and all that. And it's not healthy for the person. So instead of God being God and food having its place, food takes place of God. And that's abnormal and it has abnormal consequences of it, and your body gets different kind of sickness and you get easily sick. A similar fashion is with overdone use of sexual indulgence. I mean, you can do that. It's a free country, no one is saying don't do that. However, it's not functioning for us well. It's not going well. It's not doing it any good to us. You can do whatever you want. You can have, sexual relationship with one person, two persons, same genders, four genders. You can have like the old Greeks used to do it because they were so experimentative culture. They forgot. They said whatever has holes, so they would do it with trees. Now, it might sound bizarre to us today, but nevertheless, if we continue this path, those things will be normal too, be exercised normal. But does that produce freedom? Does that produce anything? No. It is a fake satisfaction, a fake way of choosing happiness without God. There is no happiness without God. There's no fulfillment without God. And so, as a matter of fact, I heard a statistic that 66% of people who change the gender have suicidal thoughts and struggle with depression. Now, is that a social thing? No, I don't think so, because society has very much accepted that standard and pushing it, even forcing on you and all that. I'm not going to go there. But what is going on there? It's going on that these things that you're trying to fill, that crave for Jesus, are not helping you, are not helping the world around you, not helping your family in anything. It's something that is considered in the past abnormal. You practicing, don't think that it's going to fulfill any desire. Don't think that overdoing or overusing of only one part of human satisfactory program that will give you life in fullness. Yes, sex is good in itself, but it's not the end of all. It's not. So don't be tricked. So my encouragement to all of us is this, that as the world goes on to fulfill their call without God, which is impossible, we have to be cautious to go back to our craving with God, because God is God is the Spirit, God is the life in itself, and He created us in that way so that without Him we can do nothing. Without Him we cannot understand the meaning of life, and without that craving that God gives into us, we cannot replace that with anything. We'll be a car that functions, but it's almost as a dead. All of these other things are like chasing the wind but not catching it. But you touch the wind. It's just like even the obese person, eating and eating, never feeling satisfied. If something is missing in here. Something is missing, and that's the good news of the gospel, that He came and to give us and to deliver us from any kind of unhealthy craving. And that only the way that we understand life is by going back to God. So I pray for all of you who are struggling with different ways, who have been just injected and being it has been promoted to you that sex is everything, and sex is this, and sex is that, and do it more and you'll have satisfaction. No. In the olden days, no one really even taught people how to do certain things that we advertise in movies and everything. and they did very well. We're not lacking for sex. We're lacking for God. So I pray for all of you that God will be in that place. Wherever you have felt addicted to it or have been struggling with either food or any kind of thing that you're trying to replace God with, I pray that God will give you the heart and desire to fill that area with Him, and that you were going to go to Him, and that you will yield your will with God's will, and that He will come, because He has a better plan for you than to live only in that simple lifestyle, kind of a no meaning, no vision, no anything. Is the heart that has gone straight, and we have rejected the source, the life, and Jesus wants to go there and restore you, wants to heal you. And the enemy goes in the other way and tries to steal and kill and destroy, and tries to give you something that seems that it's real, but it's not. It's just a copy of something that is real. So God has a plan for you, to fulfill you, to heal you, to give you a new life. So seek Jesus today and be filled with Him, and stop chasing the wind. And we all were there. No judgment, no condemnation. God loves you where you are. He just wants you to live the fullness of you, and you will never, and you and I can never do that unless we have Him. So bless you all, and talk to you later. Thank you for